everyone, welcome to session 2 of yoga for women at every stage in your life. And what we're going to focus on today is the liver, spleen and kidney meridians. The reason for that being is that cleansing the liver and the kidneys and the spleen has an overall effect, not just on our well-being, but on the hormone balance in our body. So depending on what age you are, what stage you are in your life, whether it's at a young adolescent teenage stage where menstrual cycle might be quite a new part of your life, and you might be having already, even at quite a young age, imbalances, hormone imbalances, and that can often lead to the usage of the contraceptive pill at a very young age. That's one thing. Second stage, as you're becoming a little bit older, again, imbalances, or perhaps you're going into a more fertility stage. When you get to 20s and 30s, what people use that expression, your body clock starts ticking. And it generally, again, these are sweeping generalizations. They are not, everyone is an individual and we all have our individual da-da-da-da-das. But we're making big generalizations. 20s and 30s tends to be what we could call our fertility stage, where we might consider having children, or even the thought of having children starts to become something in our psyche. Doesn't mean that it necessarily is going to happen, but it starts to be a thought process in the 20s and 30s generally. 40s and 50s, generally, perimenopause, menopause, and post-menopause. And really the age of 40 to 50 and to 60 and beyond is the phase in our life where we're actually aging. And I can say that from my own experience because I'm 55 and I've been through all of those stages. And so today what we're going to focus on is cleansing, because cleansing out congestion, and that congestion can be emotionally, spiritually and physically. Meaning emotionally, we talk a lot about in yoga about our emotions, which get trapped in our hips, and that if you have stiff hips, that generally means that you're hanging on to things, and those can be things that have happened recently or happened in the past or even happened in another lifetime, and you're holding on to those things. Spiritually, not being able to really access or really be present with your soul, and that's blockages, which we're going to talk about as we go through the flow. And physically, that can be just signs of aging, or when you're older, generally unfit, perhaps overweight or stubborn weight gain around the midline here. Yeah, we see this a lot, and that generally is lifestyle choices, bad diet, processed foods, preservatives in foods, alcohol, smoking, drugs, both legal drugs, meaning prescription drugs, and also illegal drugs. All of those things are toxic. And what we're going to do today is try to unblock those pathways and eliminate those toxins. And these sessions combined with a lighter diet, a more plant-based diet with less toxins in it and less processed foods in it, will help you help your job, help your body, like your liver and your spleen, do the cleansing and eliminating process that they're designed to do. So enough of that waffle. We're going to start sitting today. So sitting, we spoke about before in session 1 about potentially purchasing a block. I think that purchasing a block is a fantastic investment. And you can get them anywhere. You can buy them in your local yoga studio, you can get them online, loads of places sell them, loads of places sell them. Probably even places, oh I don't know, anyway, you know, look up the internet as they say. So we're going to start sitting, and at this point you can sit on a block if you have one, or and if you don't have one, well, you don't have one. Sitting nice and steady. And we're going to begin by bringing your hands into fists with the thumbs tucked in and the elbows at shoulder level. Inhaling, exhaling, right. So inhale center. We're going to close the mouth and we're going to breathe. Maybe we can speed it up a bit. Deepen the twist. A little bit of fun with it. Going to carry on for another minute. You can do this as you build up to it, put your timer on and build up to doing it for 10 minutes. Come to center, let the hands rest on the knees and just closing down the eyes. So you might feel a little bit dizzy, a little bit lightheaded. That's perfectly normal. Just come back to a resting breath, filling up the lungs, exhaling out. Filling up the lungs, exhaling out. One more time, filling up the lungs, exhale, release. I'm going to just stay here in silence and stillness for half a minute. Okay, second exercise. Again, let's change the cross of the legs. So we're going to be sitting again. Bring the arms up. So try to straighten the arms and spread the fingers. We're going to do this. This is an exercise which helps us to let go, to release. Try and close your eyes to just tune in and get away from the distractions of what's going on in the room around you. And exhaling on when the hands expand. You can slow it down. This is good for toning up the arms as well. Expanding the fingers. Now the extra half a minute. Closing the eyes. And release. Again, palms rest, facing up. Rest the face and stay in silence for half a minute. Gently open up the eyes now. I'm going to roll over and come to tabletop. So tabletop, when you're in tabletop, the shoulders, elbows and wrists are lined up in one straight line. What you don't want to be happening is for the eyes of the elbows, the sides of the elbow, the joint, to be facing forward so that you're actually pushing forward. Because a lot of people have overextension in their arms and this just automatically happens. What you want to happen is that eye of the elbow there is tracking the line of the thumb. So you're not pushing through, the eye of the elbow is tracking the line of the thumb. Here, the back, here in the lower back, what tends to happen is that most people tend to come into tabletop as a kind of collapsed tabletop, where the pelvis is not in a neutral position, the tailbone is pointing up and the lower back's collapsed. I've got no core engagement there. I want to draw that navel in so you can see I go from this to this. So I'm in more of a tabletop position. Looking down, back of the neck is nice and long, so that when I'm going to begin the movement from here and not here. As I turn the pelvis, the tailbone faces up, the lower back dips, I rotate the biceps and the eyes of the elbow forward and I look forward. Exhaling, the movement starts here, chin into chest last. Inhaling, exhaling, and then come to neutral tabletop. Step the right foot in front of the hands so that the foot is in front of the knee and the hands are back here. The hands are inside the knee, they're not like this, inside. The left knee is underneath my hip, so I'm not doing this, it's not this shape, it's this. My back is still nice and straight, I still have core engagement. I'm going to walk those fingers forward now, and you can see as I come forward, my left hip lowers down and I come into this big low lunge. Then I want to shuffle that right foot, so now that the ankle and the knee are lined up, so I'm in this big deep lunge, dragon lunge. Inhale, bring the arms up, the biceps to face each other. Yeah? Exhale, bring the hands down inside the foot. Inhale, and on the exhale we're going to twist now. The forearm, the left forearm is going to lean on that right thigh. And I'm going to turn the chest round with the right hand. I'm going to take hold of the back of the left thigh. And I'm just going to let the head look down gently, following the line of the chest. We're going to stay here for 2 minutes. So let's inhale together. Exhale. Relax the face, close down the eyes. So in this posture, you're getting a nice, really deep hip out in the front of that left hip and the inner seam of the right thigh. So stimulating the kidney, liver and spleen meridians on the inside of the right thigh and opening up the front of the left hip. And also in this posture, it's stimulating the stomach meridian, which is down the front of that left hip. So, from an energetic point of view, releasing all those trapped emotions that are in our hips, physically unblocking those meridian pathways of those key organs that are fundamental to the cleansing and detoxifying process of the body. So let's close our eyes now and find stillness for the last minute. Almost there, half a minute to go. Okay, nice and slowly come through center. Bring the hands inside that that right leg, and step that right foot back to tabletop. Once you're in tabletop, bring the knees mat distance apart, the big toes touch, the bum goes back to the heels and the forehead down, child's pose. If you want to make child's pose a little bit more dramatic, come up onto the fingertips, forehead down. If you want to have a bit more relaxing, arms by your side, palms up. I'm going to go for the little bit more dynamic. I'm going to stay here for half a minute. Then slowly walk the fingers in. Let's come back to tabletop. We're going to go to the other side. So once again, you're stepping the left foot forward. So the foot is in front of the knee and the hands are back here inside that left leg. Then we're going to walk the fingers forward so that we come nice and low. You can see the way I'm lowering down. So I'm going to open up the front of that right hip. Now the foot on the left side, the ankle and the foot are lined up. Fingertips inside. Let's open up to a nice crescent lunge. Arms up, nice dip. And then exhale the hands down. This time it's the right forearm on top of the left knee, turning round to the left hand turns round the back and takes hold of the outside of the right thigh. The head's just following the line of the chest. 2 minutes. So again, that's really deep sinking and opening up of that right hip, stimulating the inside of those thigh seams, the kidney, liver and spleen meridian. So stomach meridian, kidney, liver and spleen. Nice, Mickey. Lots of cleansing. Relaxing the face. 1 more minute to go. With practice, like all these things, this will become less, if you like, agonizing. For some people, this might feel really in that right hip. That's really quite normal if you're not used to practicing this. Just go with it, and then after a while, you'll find that you'll be able to stay here a little bit longer than these 2 minutes. Coming slowly back to center. Stepping the left foot back. Opening up the knees mat distance apart. Big toes touch. Forehead down. Child's pose. So either hands forward with the finger up on the fingertips, or arms by your side. Maybe you can try the opposite one that you did the last time. Breathing nice and deeply. And then nice and slowly coming back up to sit. Excellent. The next sequence that we're going to do is the bow sequence. So the bow sequence, again, works on all those meridian lines, and it's also stretching the front really of the thighs, stretching the front of the thighs, which will help balance the calcium and the magnesium in the body, which is key to overall health and wellness, calcium magnesium balance. And it's also, if you do these every single day, then all these little ailments and problems, actually it'd be great to hear how you do feel after you do these every single day. So the bow sequence, we're going to start lying down. So you're lying down on your front with your hands out in front of you, and you're looking down at the mat. So lying completely flat, fingers in front, looking down at the mat. Front of the feet are flat on the floor. So step one, we're going to lift the right leg off. So stay looking down, nice long back of the neck, and left hand off. So pressing down on the front of the left foot to lift the right foot high. Lift the left hand. Breathing. See if you can lift it a little bit higher. And then release down, forehead down. Let's take a minute, a couple of breaths. Going to go to the other side. So left leg lifts, right hand, breathing in. Hand down, foot down. Now we're going to do both legs, both hands. So fully exhale, lift the legs, lift the hand. Breathe there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5 down. Again, let's take 3 breaths there. Nice and deep, breathing into the back ribs. Step the feet in, flex the feet, reach back with the right hand for the outside of the right ankle. Getting all my body parts mixed up. Oh. Back for left hand taking hold of the outside of the left ankle, right ankle. Bring the knees in so that they're more hip distance apart than hanging out here. And then we're going to push, squeeze the shoulder blades, push the feet into the hands. So the feet are trying to push away and the hands are stopping them. So I'm going to roll up and down, but I won't be able to talk at the same time. So, and then we're going to bow. Massaging the tummy. And then release down. Let's go back to child's pose. Ooh. Head down, arms by your side or in front. Breathing into the back ribs. And then slowly coming to sit up back on your heels and coming to kneel. The last posture in this sequence is camel posture. So camel again, stretching the front of the thighs, that balance of the magnesium and calcium, opening up the navel chakra, responsible for the balance of our appetite, so that when the navel chakra is balanced, we generally don't overeat and don't overdrink, don't overconsume. And also camel posture, the clue is in the name, is a posture that is known to, with this balancing of the navel, to help control our appetite, so you don't just like a camel, you don't need to overeat or overdrink. So it has a balancing effect in the navel energy. And these are all good things for cleansing and detoxifying, and not overburdening the liver and the kidney and the spleens with overeating and overdrinking. And that can also be not necessarily even drinking, say, alcohol or caffeine, but just overdrinking, overconsumption of water, maybe fruit juices, maybe even teas, just too much liquid, drowning your kidneys in too much liquid. So tucking the toes under, bring the hands to the side of the pelvis. So what you want to do with this pelvis is bring that pelvis into a neutral position so that the tailbone's pointing down and the hips are facing forward. Use these big muscles here, your glute muscles in the back of the thighs, to hold that in position. Head, face is looking forward. So step one is really more of a lean on the exhale, and then back up. So it's not a back bend. When you do that, if you're doing it properly, you should really feel that in the front of the thighs. So let's do that together. Holding onto the side of the pelvis, really squeezing your butt, it feels like. Holding that in neutral position as we go back. Feel that nice and strong in the front of the thighs, and then back up. Brilliant. Step two, that's just step one, a camel. Leaning back. Step two, taking the hands to the heels. Step three, hips go forward, navel lifts, sternum lifts, open up the throat and look at the ceiling. Breathe there. 1. Inhale, expand that, lift the navel up. 2, 3, 4, and then on 5, we're going to come back up to stand, back up to kneel. Yeah, great. Let's do that one more time. Let's just do that one more time since it's such a fabulous exercise. Take the hands to the side of the pelvis. Lock that if you like. Not that that's a word that we really like using in yoga practices, but just bring it into position. Lean. Hands to heels. Hips go forward. Navel opens. Heart center opens. Throat opens. Look up. Inhale. 1, 2. Open up the front. 3, 4, and then on 5, coming back up to kneel. Sitting back on the heels, big toes touch, knees mat distance, forehead down, child's pose. Let's take half a minute there. Breathing into the back of the ribs, relaxing that lower back. And then slowly coming to sit up, roll over onto one side, bring the feet forward and step the feet so that the feet are at the edge of the mat. Knee is up. We're going to slowly roll down. Keep those knees at the side of the mat and then draw the knees in towards the chest, extending the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Bring the knees wide so that the knees are wider than your body and they're really almost at the edges of the mat. Option to bring the hands in between the legs and then wrap the palms behind the back of the calves, drawing the knees towards the mat, downwards rather than rolling the bum off. We're going to keep the lower back down, keep the tail down and draw the knees in. Let's breathe there for 5, 3, 4, And then on 5, release the hands, bring the knees together and extend the feet up towards the ceiling. Legs are straight. Again, it's not this where we're drawing the knees in towards our face. If anything, you're moving them away from you so that you're making more of an L shape than this kind of V shape. Arms are by your side, palms face up. Some of you might know what eagle bind is. Eagle bind is when you cross the thighs. So we're crossing the left thigh over the right and wrapping that foot, left foot around the back of the right ankle. That's eagle bind. If you don't know what eagle bind is, just bend the knees in towards your chest. Let's take those knees over to the floor on the right side, tucking that right shoulder under and turning the head to look over to the left. 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale 1. Inhale and exhale 2. Inhale and exhale 3. Inhale and exhale 4. And then on 5, we're going to unravel the legs if you have them bound. Bring the knees back to center and straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. I'm going to go to the other side now. So that would be crossing right over left, or just bringing the knees into the chest. Rolling those knees over to the floor on the left side and turning the head to look over to the right. Inhale and exhale 1. Relaxing the tummy in the exhale. Inhale and exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. And then on the 5th exhale, bring the knees back to center and straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to lower those legs down nice and straight to the count of 5. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on 1 down. You're in Shavasana. So just closing down the eyes and become still as quickly as you can. Silence and stillness. Nice and slowly now, just rolling the head from side to side. Feel free to stay there, press pause. Otherwise, bring the knees into chest, roll over onto the right side, and slowly coming back up to sit. Let's just take a moment here. Again, a moment of stillness. Feeling a little bit lighter now. Feeling that stimulation. Cleansing, purifying, stimulating. Thank you for your wonderful attention. Thank you for your wonderful practice. Please feel free to post a comment about how you're feeling, how you're doing with your yoga series, and come and join one of my classes. If you're in London, come to London and join one of my classes. Come to my next retreat, and that is in Wiltshire in September. So hope to see you there. Otherwise, if you want to, you can jump on a plane and come to Ibiza next week. Yay! If you're feeling impulsive. Thank you for your practice. Hari Om.